I saw Code 3 and Roofman this week. Both films are based off of real events, but only one is worth your time. Hey, I'm Mike, I studied film, I work in TV, and if you love movies as much as I do, hit that subscribe button and get notified when new content's posted. I think what intrigued me most about Code 3 and Roofman is that they were both based on true stories. Roofman is based on the real story of Jeffrey Manchester, an army vet turned criminal who became famous for robbing fast food restaurants in the late 90s. He would enter through a hole he would smash in the roof of the restaurants. That's why they call him the Roofman. It stars Channing Tatum as the Roofman and Kirsten Dunst as his oblivious love interest. Similarly, Code 3 is based on the real-life adventures of Patrick Pianeza, a former EMT. Pianeza co-wrote Code 3 with director Christopher Leone. It stars Rainn Wilson as a burnt-out EMT worker who lands a new job behind a desk. We ride along for his last shift as an EMT and get to see firsthand why he's so burnt out. I don't normally do combo reviews. I had planned on writing a review of both of these separately, and I really didn't like one of them. Listen, if you want a robotic movie review, there are a ton of accounts on this platform that will give you movie good or movie bad, but I like to bring receipts. If I pan a film, I want to explain why. So which one's the dud? I first watched Code 3, and guys, I really didn't like it. I dragged my feet writing a review for it. You know what they say? If you've got nothing nice to say. I didn't like Code 3 for the same reason I didn't like The Hurt Locker. Yeah, that's my hot take. I didn't like The Hurt Locker. Sue me. There's a spoiler ahead. Code 3 shows how hard it is to be an EMT, and never really gives us the upside, much like The Hurt Locker. The film spends an hour and 45 minutes showing us how terrible Rainn Wilson's job is. When he finally makes it through his shift and starts at his desk job, we're relieved. Thank God people's lives aren't in the hands of a burnt-out EMT worker anymore. But then, like The Hurt Locker, he can't cope with civilian life and returns to his EMT post. What? What? In order for a plot like that to work, we have to see the upside, somewhere. We have to see the silver lining in being an EMT. The moment he realizes he misses the EMT life is when he's in traffic and he pulls over to let an ambulance pass. So if I'm hearing this right, he misses turning on the lights and driving through traffic? The problem is that Code 3 plays as a series of barroom stories that writer Patrick Pianeza tells when he's out with the boys, and there's no time spent building up Rainn Wilson's character. Who is Rainn Wilson? We get very little of his life and what he's into. There's even a conversation where he can't name any of his hobbies. It's meant to show us that he is his job. But everyone, even people who become their jobs, are people. While I was writing my movie bad review of Code 3, I saw Roofman and realized that Roofman had everything in a movie that I wanted Code 3 to have. Character. In Roofman, Channing Tatum is also in a bad situation. He's a military vet who can't find a job and turns to robbing fast food restaurants. After being caught and escaping prison, he hides out in a Toys R Us where he meets Kirsten Dunst, an employee of the shop. Tatum's living a double life. He's pretending to be an upstanding citizen by day and is living the life of a thief by night. As he ingratiates himself deeper into Dunst's life and falls more and more in love with her and her girls, we know what's going to happen. We can see it a mile away and we don't envy his decision. By the end of Roofman, he's a changed man. He's tired of running. The heat's getting turned up. Does he make his escape like he's done 1,000 times, or does he stay with the woman and family he loves? His decision comes from his character learning over the course of a movie a lesson. You can run, but you can't hide. Yeah, you heard that right. Code 3 made me hate the hero EMT worker, and Roofman made me love the criminal. That's the power of character. By the end of Code 3, we should be feeling torn between Rainn Wilson hanging it all up and taking the desk job, and realizing that the EMT life actually is for him. We should see the upside of both decisions, and the downsides. We never feel that pull in Code 3, so when he makes his decision, it doesn't make any sense to us. Roofman has a surprising amount of heart and charm. If I'm being honest, I'd never really thought that much about Channing Tatum as an actor. He's always kind of been a handsome space filler. Not bad, just never delivering the kind of performance that jumps off the screen. I am here to officially apologize to Mr. Tatum for having these thoughts. This role made me sit up and take notice. He's really good as Jeffrey Manchester. In fact, I think the only thing I didn't like about his character was his porn star goatee. What the hell is that? You see, Tatum's character isn't a bad guy. He's just a guy who played by the rules his whole life and ended up with nothing. We completely understand where he's coming from. He's robbing the stores, but he shows compassion to his hostages. At one point, he locks up a group of McDonald's workers in the freezer, and one guy doesn't bring a coat, so Tatum gives him his. Apparently that's a real detail. That really happened. The compassion Channing Tatum makes us feel for his character in Roofman is what Rainn Wilson should have made us feel in Code 3. He's saving people's lives, by the way. You think we'd have a little compassion for the guy who's trying to save lives. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed Roofman. As a kid of the 90s, I feel like I grew up with Kirsten Dunst. She's great as a divorced mom of two trying to keep it all together. The film is set in 2004. We know this from a calendar Tatum uses, but the real story took place in the late 90s. While I'm not sure what prompted the change, the entire film is shot on a grainy film stock, or they added film grain in post to make it feel like a throwback movie. Either way, it gave this Gen Xer the warm fuzzies. During the credits of Roofman, we get the added bonus of hearing interviews with the real-life people whom the characters were based on, so make sure you stay for that. Overall, I really enjoyed Roofman and would highly recommend it. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Roofman and Code 3. I'd love to read your thoughts on both movies in the comments below. As always, film is about community. I'm Mike, and I love movies.